Hello friends, just wanted to give a quick update and go over a few bits and pieces. Hopefully this video won't go on too long. First off, I really want to say a massive thanks to everybody who's been chiming in on the old Russian uniform debate. So it's usual suspects, Kevin, Ralph, thank you. Also Warwick George, user Warwick George, I don't know if that's George Warwick or somebody whose first name is Warwick. George, I'm not sure, I'm just going to call you Warwick George. We've had some really helpful discussions in the comments of my videos about Russian uniforms. I got some answers, so I think what I'll do is at a later date probably do a summary of everything that we have discovered and come up with, just so that we can be so that we have like a baseline video. There's still other pieces of the uniform that we need to clarify. One of the gaps at the moment, I think, is Jaeger belts. So the Osprey is pretty clear. Jaeger's black leather belts, line are white. We don't know where that comes from. Looking at the sources, it's kind of a mess. Warwick George has suggested that the Russians likely followed the Prussian system, but I honestly don't know. I don't think we can get a clear read yet. So I'm still delving into some more sources, and hopefully we'll get a very clear answer. I think intuitively it feels better to paint them with black leather, right? Because it's a very visual difference between the Jaegers and the line. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is focus on just painting up the infantry regiments, because we have some solid answers on those. So I just wanted to show you some bits and pieces. First thing, again, Warwick George has come in clutch as the helper there with the uniform, the greatcoat colour. He suggested this Mission Models IDF Sand Grey version 1 MMP 037, and I tried it out on this E-Ball Miniatures Russian infantryman in a Pickelhaube, and it's come out really nice, I think. So what I'll do is I'll lift them up to the light a little bit, get a better view here under the light potentially. Sorry, this is a bit of a fiddle. Right, that's better lighting, I think, so that helps there. So yeah, hopefully you can see that the coat is looking really good. The paint is ultra smooth. It goes well over a white base coat, less so over black because it's quite thin. It's formulated for airbrushes, and I've been slapping it on with a brush. But this is not by no means a finished figure, but I just slapped on the coat and did some highlights yesterday. It's come out really nice. This is a foundry figure, which I applied the same coat painting method, and I think you'll agree it looks really nice. Obviously, when it'll be easier to show off the colours with better lighting, because I'm trying to work with a stupid bloody lamp, and it's very difficult because it's not. I don't have a lot of like really good ambient light around me. Anyway, so that was the IDF Sand Grey. Then, interestingly, this is a test that I did with some Stone Grey from Vallejo, and it's come out roughly the same. Oh, thanks, neighbour. Apologies about that. I just decided to stop mowing his lawn. So yeah, Stone Grey is actually very similar, so I think it'll definitely be added to the palette of colours to be considered for doing the greatcoats. So it's a more greyish colour, a slightly lighter grey, I think. And then I've almost finished up the 3 in a khaki coat, which is more on the brown-green side than on the brown-grey side. But the good news is I now know kind of how I'm going to paint them, which means I can increase tempo. So I've done a dark green furashka. I've gone for green trousers with a red stripe. I don't know if you can see that there. And then, as I said, leather in black. Furashkas, I'm doing a red band for the infantry regiments around the base, and then the trim is battalion dependent. First battalion gets red, second battalion gets white. And then this will be the 1st battalion of the Vladimir, and then these guys, where they're slightly different tone. Hold on, let me see if I can giving a shot there for you. These guys in the greyish tone with the white trim on the Forashka will be the 2nd Battalion, and they look quite good, I think. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you know that I made a start on the infantry regiments, if not the Jaegers. I've also got some Great War miniatures on the table here. I'm opting for a white base coat with this new mission models color because it just sticks better. So yeah, these are some Great War figures with the same color. It works really well. Kind of doing a shade isn't a big deal, and then I just add a bit of ivory to the color, or white or whatever. I just vary that, something lighter basically for the highlights itself. I haven't done any highlights or anything on this figure yet. This is just blocking the colors in. So yeah, these are the Great War figures. These will be for the Suzdal Regiment, because we know that at the Alma they will pickle halbers. Although thinking about that, I'll probably just do what I feel like, right? I wanted to just return to this Ebor Miniatures figure. You'll notice he's a lot uglier, just generally speaking, than his more dapper looking Great War figure. Obviously they're not the same height because he's on a base, but yeah, it's difficult to do a comparison here because they're not really level, so there's a false perspective there, and he's on a slightly higher base. But what I wanted to point out was just how like squished his facial features are. He's got these big meaty hands. Reminds me of the painting by Van Gogh, the potato eaters, you know, of Dutch peasants. He just got that really kind of potato eater face going on. I quite like these figures actually, very characterful. I got this guy done rapidly. I mean, he's not finished, but he was very quick to paint, I will say that. And when you're doing big battalions of 24 figures a pop, I mean, they're not the biggest battalions, but when you've got to do lots of them, that can be a problem, right? Another thing was these British Grenadier Guards. So the first base that I did, I'd actually base coated them in black, as I've done with all the British so far. I've decided to switch fire and actually go for a white base coat, or grey even, depending on what I have to hand. Only because the red is a real nightmare on black. I have to do so many extra layers and extra work. What I've done here is I've just slapped on flat red, and then I've walloped on a Caribou Crimson shade to give it a bit of shading in the creases and around the cuffs and such. And now all I have to do is highlight up. Much quicker, way less hassle. I think the result's going to be more or less the same. So the idea is to kind of get moving with this project. I'd like to start getting a bit of progress just in terms of you know, bases done. I'm not thinking in terms of battalions done, I'm just thinking in terms of bases done. So if I can get a base done a week, that'd be quite nice. A base of 6 figures, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean based up and glued to the base and all. I just mean like 6 figures in a go, right? Done. So I'm still trying to work a method out that works pretty quickly. I think this is going to be better for the British, and I think the Russians are going to benefit from a white base coat as well. I'm finding actually that the fiddliest bit, the bit that slows me down the most and is the most tedious, is not actually the Forashkas or the headwear or anything like that. It's just the bloody muskets. I find them so dull to paint. But that said, I just need to get on with it, right? So my goal is, now that everybody's gone and we have the house to ourselves again, to be able to get my hour a night in if possible, and make some good forward progress. So that's the update on the Russians and the Crimean project in general. I just wanted to give everybody an update and say big thank yous to everybody who's been contributing. I know that it's, you know, sometimes it seems a bit silly, but when you are committing to painting quite a few battalions of Russians, you just want to make sure you get them done right the first time. So actually this demonstrates quite nicely the difference in uniforms. I think you can get a good sense of what these guys will look like from a distance-ish, and then obviously once I get to that time I will do you a better set of shots to show things off. But I think they look pretty good right now, actually. Cross belts look nice, the Forashkas are looking good. They were a lot less hassle than I'd imagined they would be. The coats are looking good, the tonal variance is nice. I think if the battalions are at least kind of relatively consistent, that'd be nice. But yeah, just wanted to share that with everybody and show you some progress. Comments are always welcome. If anybody sees anything that's just absolutely wrong, or even not so absolutely wrong, if there's anything that they think needs changing, let me know before I go further down the rabbit hole, please. And I will wish you all a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.